Hey, it's Jake G33 here again. Here to bring you another paranormal story of my own. They are always true and always genuine. So please like, subscribe, comment, and we'll hop right in. So, last time I told you about the ghost that ran up the stairs. That stuff was pretty wild. Now, the story I'm going to tell you about this time is one that I don't believe was what would be called a ghost. And I'll explain a little later. So, what happened here was, um, at this moment, I was with like a different girl. Okay, so the one girl was gone. I got a different girl now. Uh, she had heard about my paranormal stories as well, and she had let me know uh, that there was something up with her house as well, that she believed she had a ghost. And she ended up explaining why. She said that her nephew was like 1 years old. Whenever she would take him into her room, her nephew would like look up into one corner of the room, and he would like start like cooing and like laughing and reaching up trying to grab whatever it was that he was seeing. She couldn't see it, but apparently this boy could see something. Um, and then she said that at one point she had a different boyfriend who, when she and him were in like an argument together, and she tried to run out of her room, and while she was like running out of her room, the boyfriend like grabbed her arm, and then she said that he just like fell backwards onto the bed. And whenever that happened, they both knew that something happened there, and the boyfriend said that something had pushed him, like physically pushed him off of her back onto the bed. So she said that, and I was thinking to myself, that might be a very powerful entity that's at this place. I just kept it on the back burner. Didn't really think about it. Didn't want to really think about it because whenever I do, things tend to happen. Until one day, um, something did happen. She didn't see this. I saw this, but what I saw was very terrifying. So to put you into perspective, this girl, she was what you would call emo, um, which emotional, hormones going crazy. She had, honestly, she was putting herself as the victim as to everything, even though she had like an absolutely great life. Her family was awesome, and I don't know what she thought the world was against her for, because there were no problems. I didn't see any problems anywhere, but for her, she thought that the world was completely against her, and she had all these feelings of dread and terrible things going on in her life. Okay, whatever, you know. So, um, what ended up happening was, whenever we were wrestling around in the bed, we weren't doing anything that, nothing like that, but she was like straddled over me, and she had her arms like over my head. I think it was either like over my head or like on the bed over my head, and she was straddled over me, so I was able to see between her arm and her leg. And as she was straddled over me, I looked in that corner of the room. In that corner of the room, there was something there. Now, this thing didn't have a real form to it. It was just a big black mass in the corner of this room. And that big black mass, and this is just, it would have been straight off of a scary movie. Big black mass in the corner of the room, and coming off of it looked like almost like tentacles, and and I'm staring at this thing, and I am terrified at what I was seeing. And it looked like it could have reached out and grabbed you. It really did. It was that real. And while I'm looking at it, it's she sees the look on my eyes and realizes that I'm seeing something, but she doesn't know what. And the moment that like I'm looking at this thing and just in awe, it's gone immediately. And right once it disappears, I immediately like push her off of me and sit up in the bed and am just in awestruck. She knows that I just saw something. She's like, what happened? What did you just see? And I told her what I saw, and I was like, I think I just saw your ghost. Now, I said that then. Now, whenever I go back and think about it, I would say that that was the first time that I encountered a poltergeist. Why do you think I think that? Because poltergeists aren't your typical ghost. Poltergeists are an entity that is created through someone's emotions, through their feelings, through all the negative energy that they release out into the world. And once it's released, energy does not diminish, it only transforms. That energy gets released, it has to transform into something. And sometimes, whenever that energy is released, it transforms into its own its own entity, something that can actually do something. So these things come into existence. They don't know why they're here. They're typically attached to something or someone, and then they're just here. They're just around, and they can feed off of the person that they're attached to, or to from the just activity in the house. They can feed off of anything, and the more that all the bad things happen in the area that it's at, the more powerful it becomes. The more powerful it becomes, the more things it can do. They are terrifying. Seeing that thing, I it truly blew my mind. It really made me scared. I mean, she and I, we weren't together for much longer after all that, but it was a very humbling experience, because at that point I had seen a lot, had a lot happen to me, but never had I seen darkness like this before. And I mean, I only had to learn from it. And it was a great experience, really, seeing something like that and knowing what it looks like. It was a wild time. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm going crazy, maybe, or do you think what I saw was legitimate? It was something that I I wish the world could have seen that, so that way I could expose the fact that there is something after all this, and that there is a completely different world that nobody can see, that these things are out there. But that's the end of my story. Next one's going to be a ghost that or a entity or something that happened at my work. So stay tuned, keep watching, like, subscribe, comment. You guys have a good one. Bye.